Welcome to the Delayed Gratification Podcast. Listen, today is a special episode. I got my sister, Terrica Lynn Smith, the female real estate guru, on here. And I'm super excited. What's up, Terrica?
Hey, what's up? Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
This is like a real treat.
For me, too.
To slow you down enough to get you to sit on this podcast.
I mean, all you got to do is feed me.
Got to find somewhere good to take you.
That's it. Yeah, somewhere good.
Somewhere good. Listen, can you tell us who you are?
So my name's Terrica Lynn Smith. I'm a real estate developer out of Louisiana. I invest into multifamily. I build new construction. I have a series of business. So, yeah, just really blessed.
All real estate based?
Yes.
How did you get started? Because we got to go back. Because, I've been knowing you now for about 6 or 7 years.
Yeah.
And it's definitely an honor. But I've seen you grow tremendously. But you were already at the top when I met you.
So I would say, honestly, I got my start right after Hurricane Katrina when I went to real estate school.
What was that, 2005? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got my license in early 2006. And, I mean, I just put my head down. It was hard getting into real estate because I didn't understand it. I didn't know the terminology. People around me, never had anything to do with real estate. But whenever I was younger, I used to travel. When I was in foster care, I used to travel from state to state selling magazines, and I would knock on
people's door. So you were in foster care?
Yeah, I was in foster care.
I didn't know that.
Really?
I got to come back. We got to talk about that one. Yeah. Wow. Now, that's an even bigger story. This is some Oprah type stuff. You know what I mean?
No, I was in foster care most of my life.
Wow.
And but I had ran away. So I ran away
from foster care.
Yeah. Oh, all the time. Like, they used to call me the runaway child. But when I turned 16, I ran away and I ended up on the road with the magazine companies, the people that come to your door and knock and try to tell you stuff.
I remember that,
yeah. So I was one of those people, and immediately I was extremely good at it. At
selling.
Oh, at selling. I enjoyed it. Like what they call is curfew, which means you have to be in by 9 p.m. So they drop you off at 9 a.m. in a neighborhood. You're there all day until 9 p.m. I'll stay till like midnight knocking on doors. I remember that they had a storm coming, and one lady was like, "You do know there's a storm coming?" I was like, "No, ma'am, I didn't. But if you go ahead and take this cell from me today, I'll get on.
I'm going to go home."
Yeah, I'll go ahead and
Were you in Louisiana?
I was.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. But when I traveled, I was in California. I was all over the world. I had been to like 40 states before I was even 18 because I was traveling so much, selling magazines. Every 2 weeks we would travel and be on the road.
Did you get paid a lot?
Well, in my mind, I thought I did because we would make, if I sold like $3,600 worth of magazines in 1 week, I would get like $500. And, they didn't know I was 16 because I lied. I said I was 17, but they didn't. I mean, what I did know. Yeah. What I didn't know was I was on the road with crackheads and all kind of people like that. Like, I didn't know that. Like, I just wanted to make some money. And I would ask these people, Ramon, what do you do for a living? Like, I would always ask them that, The
people that you were selling the magazines to.
That's right.
Okay.
Go up to these big, beautiful mansions, houses I never seen in the South before. I ain't even know what garages was. I remember an old white man explaining to me how it worked and me being amazed, watching it go up and down.
Are you serious?
Yes. Like, I never seen that before.
Wow.
And so, I ended up getting pregnant right at 17. Well, I had my son at 17. I got pregnant at 16. And then I ended up homeless for a brief period of time in New Orleans under the bridge. And it was at that moment I was like, I don't want to be here. Like, I don't want to be homeless. And so
you were homeless with the baby? You had already had?
Yes, I had.
My buddy.
Yes. That's why he's so close. When you see him with me, he's like very protective.
Yes. Wow.
But he came out the womb like that too. That's so funny. But he came out the womb like that.
But you were a baby.
I was a baby.
Wow.
Yes.
But you had been through a lot.
I've been through a lot. By this point in time, I was an adult. Nobody could tell me anything.
Ooh, Lord.
Nobody could tell me nothing.
So you were selling magazines
Mm-hmm.
while you were homeless?
No. So I got pregnant on the road.
So you stopped?
So I had to come back because it's hard traveling with a baby on the road. There's no babysitter. And like I said, from 9 to 9, you working.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm leaving Tyreek with strangers. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I just didn't want anything to happen to him. I was sexually abused. So I always had like that fear of, I don't want nobody to hurt my baby. So I got off the road. Well, when I got off the road, I ended up going back to New Orleans. I was homeless for a little while. I found a little apartment that I sold my food stamps for to be able to get in.
You had to pay for food stamps?
No, I know. We actually had the card. I had paper food stamps as a kid.
Okay.
By the time I got older, we had cards.
Gotcha.
That's funny. That's a good throwback moment right there.
It is.
Yeah,
I just started thinking about it.
Yeah.
I got a joke. Let me say this. Me and my sister thought we needed some money. We was like, we're going to go to the store and buy some stuff. We're going to get the change. And we forgot, if you pay 99 cents for something, they don't charge you taxes. And so, so we got back a penny.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother story though. But so you got your apartment.
Yeah, got my apartment, end up getting pregnant again at 19.
Okay.
And by this time I'm like, I'm very poor. Like, I'm living in a 1-bedroom. I got 2 kids under 2. And I'm alone. That was the biggest thing. Like, I was alone trying to figure this out. Like, I didn't have no family. Obviously, I was in foster care. And so I ended up meeting, who's my husband now. He was my boyfriend. I ended up meeting him, and he was heaven sent. And Hurricane Katrina hit. So we was together about a year right before Hurricane Katrina hit. And then after Hurricane Katrina, I said, I don't ever want to be trapped in the city again, waiting on the government to take care of me, to provide for me, to come save me. My children had the same diaper on for 2 days. That's the worst feeling in the world as a mother, not being able to take care of your children. So I went on and I got into real estate. I mean, I remembered what they told me when I was on the road.
But what made you get into real estate? So you were going through it.
Money.
But I'm saying, like, where did you get the idea? I just want to get into real estate. Like, what made you?
I'm traveling on the road and going to these big old houses. Like I told you, when I said I was mesmerized by that garage, it changed my life. Like, I didn't know people lived like that. And these people would invite me into their homes. I grew up in a shack. Yeah. In foster care, there was no lovely group homes or foster homes. It was shacks. You know what I'm saying? People just took in foster kids to get a check. So for me, when I saw them, I'm like, yo, these people are rich. Like, I met rich people. I sat at their house. They ate wheat bread. Like, I remember, like, yo, what is wheat bread? I didn't even know what that was.
To be honest with you, I didn't learn about wheat bread until I got a little bit older. Too. We had that white bread that stick in the top of your mouth.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't even know they had different bread.
Yeah,
like, you know what I'm saying?
I'm with you on that one.
So it was exposure. Yeah. Like, it was the only thing I knew that I can do. Like, I remember... I remember whenever I was going door to door selling magazines and they had this white man, the one that was telling me about the garage or whatever, he told me, he said, you can do real estate.
Wow.
I never thought I could do real estate.
I wish you knew who he was. I wish you can go back.
I know. He was and that's really how my life been. Like, there's been so many guardian angels along the way. Like, at the moment, I may not recognize that they're a guardian angel. But when I look back over my life, they like, yo, how you made it through? I'm like, God just provided a lot of angels along the way. And so I got in real estate literally because I needed money. And I seen all of these wealthy people that can buy magazines and spend $3,000-$4,000 on magazines. I'm like, I can do it.
So you went to real estate school?
That was a nightmare.
Why?
So... yeah, so I remember.
You just laughing.
First of all, I didn't even know what real estate was. I didn't know it was dirt. Like, did you know that when you first got into this?
When I first started, I thought it was a house.
Yeah,
I thought it was the buildings. Yeah. So but you learned quickly that the only thing that matters is that land. That's it,
right? Yeah. And so I remember going and they started talking about encroachments and encumbrances, and I'm like, what the hell is this?
I just want to buy and sell a house.
I want to sell a house. They teach me nothing about selling a house, right? I had to learn all of these laws. Well, I'm not the best test taker ever, okay? I just know that about myself, right? And I failed exams 7 times. Like, I would be
the state
crying.
test?
Both.
The class test and the state test?
The national and the state.
Gotcha.
Oh, the class test, I felt like they just kept giving it to me. Like, go back. You're almost there. Go back again.
And go finish it.
Yeah, go back. Like, they didn't, like, in Louisiana, you don't have a time limit on the course at the school.
Okay.
It's with the PSI exam. You have the time limit of when you can go back and take it. But no, I remember Burke said, and bless his heart, he passed away, but he would be like, you're almost there. You got it. You got it.
Somebody else pushing you.
Pushing me. And so, yeah, I mean.
So you got your license. How did that go for you? Like, did you sell a bunch of houses?
Bro, I thought I was about to be rich. Okay. I just knew this piece of paper was about to take me to another
level. Soon as you got it.
Soon as I got it. Like, I'm telling you, I thought it was the money. Okay. Nobody told me no different. Okay. I got my chest poked out. I went to Goodwill, bro. I got the best of the best. I'm talking about the clothes that
so
still
you went
had
where?
The Goodwill. That still had the tags on it. Okay.
The Goodwill.
The Goodwill.
Yes.
And I remember going to this brokerage. It was the largest in the area. And look at me, the audacity to think that this large brokerage would want me. And I remember going to reach out to the guy. I'm not going to say his name. I remember his name very well. But I remember going to reach out to shake his hand, and he pulled his hand back like that.
What do you mean? Like he didn't want to touch you?
He did not want to shake my hand.
You know why? He hadn't seen no rich chocolate like that before.
Well, at this time, the only thing that was rich about me probably was the chocolate that I probably had on me. I ain't have nothing else beyond that. Like,
wow.
And he just, I remember him looking me up and down, and he said, "I don't think you're going to be a good fit for our company."
Because of.
I believe it's because of, at that time, they didn't have any black agents at their brokerage.
At all?
No. Wow. No. I later found out they had one agent, but I didn't know she was black. Like when I looked at her with these two eyeballs.
She didn't pass the test.
No. I was like, what?
Is she?
She almost like what's her name?
The lady that passed for
Megan, is that her name? The princess, or what is she now?
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Yeah,
the prince of.
Yes,
yes, I got you.
Them, right? Like she looked like her.
Okay,
but you couldn't tell unless
somebody
she told you. Yeah,
got you.
And so, so yeah, I remember walking out of there, and I was so upset. I done went to Goodwill. I got my best outfit, and they done turned me down. And I got my husband and my two kids in the car. Our little raggedy Mustang. And I remember Albert saying, "What are you crying for? You done been through worse." And I just wiped my face, put on my big girl pants, and then I went to another brokerage. But what I didn't know was that this first broker put fear in me, Ramon, that nobody would want me. And because I was already abandoned as a child, those issues kept coming up. So I had to fight these issues along the way of abandonment. Right?
But it's like you had some support right there in the car.
I did, but I still had abandonment issues. It took forever for me to be able to love my husband the way that he needed to be loved because I had too many trust issues. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, long story short, I ended up at Century 21. And I made a whopping $5,000 that first year.
Did you?
I mean, a whopping $5,000.
$5,000.
Bro, I was like, I could have made more than this at, McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, somebody pay me more, But I realized very early on that everybody was doing the same thing. And I've always been a forward thinker. Like I've always been a forward thinker. And I'm like, well, what if I do this? It may not work, but it's okay. But what if I do it?
What was that though?
What if I just focus on investors? What if I don't worry about people that's trying to sell their home? What if I don't worry about working with buyers that's trying to get pre-approved? What if I just work with investors? People who I know have money.
Yes.
But I had to find them.
So let me back up now. So you made $5,000 the first year, but you knew something had to change.
Something had to change.
Did your broker help you?
No.
No brokerage help.
No.
So you had to figure this out on your own.
That's right. And let me tell you, so funny story. Talk about broker help, right? I was so determined that I went back to my roots. What I told you I did as a teenager.
Sell.
Door knocking. I started door knocking. Hi, my name is Terrica Lynn Smith. I'm with blah, blah, blah real estate. Like, you know what I'm saying? I went back to my natural instinct. And these people be like, we've never had nobody come to our door before, right? Well, that was my footing to be able to get that. But guess what happened? When I went out and made that $5,000, the contract that I wrote was completely wrong. Okay? He didn't teach me how to fill out the contract.
On the first deal.
On the first deal. So he had the audacity to say, why would you put this here? I said, I'd rather put it here and you help me fix it than me miss out on the deal.
Yeah. Because this is their job, to review your contracts. That's what they're getting that cut for.
To walk me through.
Yeah. Was he getting a cut or you 100%?
No, come on now. They didn't have no 100% back in the day. That just came, 6, 7
10
years
ago?
Yeah, that's new, right? Them brokers was eating good. I mean, I'm talking plump. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, he did not. But I'll tell you one thing. When I brought that contract back and it was filled out all kind of wrong, he surely took the time to sit there and help me correct it and amend it and then go get it fixed.
But you know what you did? You did what most people won't do. They won't go ahead and take the action. We can fix the mistakes. Mm-hmm. For what we do, most people sit back and analyze everything that we say. Oh, no, this might happen. Oh, no, what about if I only get this return? Mm-hmm. Oh, no. And they just never take action.
That's right.
You took action.
Yes.
That's why you are where you are right now.
Well, and I tell people, they like, well, how did you know what to do? I didn't. I just did it dumb and scared. I just did it.
Oh, dumb and scared.
Dumb and scared. I mean, I don't care what nobody say. Like, I didn't know what I didn't know. Like, you know what I'm saying? They're like, don't call yourself dumb. No, that's what I was at the time.
Yeah.
That's what I was at the time of not knowing. Mm-hmm. Now I'm super smart, right? But I didn't start there. But because I refused to stay where I was, I just did it how I naturally was. And it worked.
So now you move into working with investors. You door knocking. Mm-hmm. You're getting real aggressive. Mm-hmm. That 5,000 did not work.
Nah, I became the top producing agent next year, and the rest is history.
Next year?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I got their little emblems, the emeralds, and all type of stuff. I was like Mike Epps whenever he say, "Put me on the Bentley like that." I was like, "Hey, black girl, put me on your poster like that." You know what I'm saying? Wow. Because it wasn't a lot of black women doing what we were doing. There's a lot of successful black women in real estate now, but there wasn't at the time that I got in. So.
But then you worked really hard, though.
That's right.
Put a lot of work in.
That's right. Twice as hard. I would stay twice as long. I would do anything somebody did once, I would do it 2 to 3 times over.
Wow.
And I never complained. I just did it. I kept my head down. That's how come I missed a lot. I missed a lot in life during that time in regards to social.
Yes.
Because I kept my head down for so long. Like, my head really is just coming up in these past 3 years. I'm just getting out. People be like, yo, T don't go to parties. She don't go to networking things. She don't really talk to people. It's not that I'm being rude. I just been taught whatever I do, I got to do it 3 times more. I can't just be ordinary.
So you miss some things in order to get to where you are right now.
I missed a lot of things.
Did you really miss them?
Yeah, I did. Like, not so much of like, parties or anything like that. I'm talking like, chaperone moments with my children.
Got you.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I've never been a chaperone. And I've always wanted to. So now I got my 10-year-old and I'm all up his butt, I'm like, Mom of the year, what we're doing, where we going? He like, Mom, chill.
That's a very tough position to be in. And I can say, I had to choose some things. Mm-hmm. We talk about it now, and I don't really call it a sacrifice, but I didn't want to miss a field trip, so I probably did miss some money. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because I always felt like I can outwork staying up late. And some things I know, I guess, didn't happen because I said, you know what, I'm going to take this week off and go on this field trip. Mm-hmm. But I felt it. You know what I mean? I felt the financial crunches. I felt it was just like, I don't want to miss it because like now I look at them and I got a 21-year-old and it's like, dang, I'm so glad I was able to X because now it's things that happen with us, the discipline stuff that I was able to do. She says now, like, I'm glad you did that to me. I embarrassed her one day. I walked the whole school, made her walk to class. I walked every class, but I wanted to have that, which is why I love real estate. It gave me the opportunity to still kind of hang in there. So I got you though, but there's some sacrifices that we all have to make to get to where we need to go.
You know what's funny, Ramon? I don't regret it.
Yeah.
I don't regret it. Like, I don't regret not one moment of it. And if I had the choice to do it again, I probably would do it a lot sooner. than what I've been able to do. I looked at it like, you know, yeah, I may have not been on that field trip, you know, with my son and or with my daughter. But when I look at their lives right now, they have so many options. They don't even know what to do with themselves.
But you did something because I see how close y'all are. So you might not go on the field trip, but something.
Oh, I've
something
always made them
the
priority.
love and
That's
when
right.
they got home, whether it be oodles and noodles.
That's right.
Because you can tell, like when you see y'all together, it's like, man, they got handcuffed. Everybody, your husband, like really, like he's like in La La Land, smiling. The kids are, and so that's we have to figure out ways to create that. Because for me, that's most important.
I made them a part of my process. You know, like we wasn't going to the zoo. We was going to a property. You know what I'm saying? So our moments are in these bricks, you know. It's not so much into the classrooms, you know. And like I said, I missed a lot, you know. And now with my son, I'm able to enjoy a lot more with the baby boy than I was with the older ones. But the older ones, you know, they have estate plans.
Hey, listen. Give me that over. My mama went to the Nutcracker with me. I didn't want to be at the Nutcracker. You know what I mean?
They don't even remember it. Like that's funny, but they don't even.
I'm gonna remember that estate. I'm gonna
know?
remember that name on that sign. So, you, agent of the year, the following year, you just took off, right? Mm-hmm. How did you start to develop? Because I got so many questions for you. Like it's some things that you don't know that I don't know that I really want to know that I'm gonna ask today.
Yes,
right?
Absolutely.
So how did you get from being an agent to a developer?
That's such a good question. So, like I said, I work with investors, and investors are always finding ways to create income. Yes. That's just what they do. And so, I started as an investor. The second part was I left being an investor and then I became a builder, but I'm still an investor because I'm investing into the new construction. But I would build these new construction homes in older neighborhoods just to see if I can do it. And I was like, well, I'm pretty good at this.
So you were managing, you was GC?
Everything. Mm-hmm.
Everything.
Yeah. So this is how it works. I would partner with my partner now is the general contractor, right? I will partner with the general contractor, but I would do what I normally do. Okay. Like they have the piece of paper, if that makes sense.
Gotcha.
But the subs and all of those
you managed it all.
Mm-hmm. And so I was like, yeah, we did really good here. So then, all right, boom. So then I was like, an opportunity came up where one of my investors was like, yo, there's this piece of land that they just want to give away at a dirt cheap price and we can develop it. We could build like 5 or 6 homes on it. I was like, oh, yeah, let's do it, right? And so there's like, well, we want you to lead everything. You go to all the planning and zoning meetings. You deal with the civil. You deal with the architects. You deal with, the all of it, the whole entire
process. The whole developer and the GC and
everything,
the investor.
Everything.
Gotcha.
And I'm giddy. I'm like, yeah, absolutely, right? Well, what happened was I had 2 partners. They were very close. Well, come to find out, they had some type of swinging situation going on with their spouses. Oh. And it made the partnership go south. So the partner who I was closer with called me and said, hey, look, I'm backing out of this deal. I'm not going to do it.
They had money in it or just your money?
No, they had money in it, too.
They had money in it, okay.
Yeah. They pulling the plugs and everything. Now, at this time, I was not able to, fund a whole development by myself. And so the other investor, he became very evil and ended up taking the whole entire development from me after all the work I did.
I paperwork, all the running down to the county and city.
I even waived my commission.
When you guys bought it.
Mm-hmm. And I got nothing from it. And I got nothing from it financially, but I got everything from it educationally.
Yes.
I learned so much. Number one, when I develop, you're going to come sit at my table because you're not going to take it from me again.
Yes.
Right? Unless, right now, we're about to buy some hotels. Well, that's a little bit different because the partner who I'm doing this with, his family is 5 generations of hotel owners.
They're good operators and they got the experience. They got the
I'm not over.
relationships.
I don't know nothing about that.
Gotcha.
But what I do know is numbers. Those numbers look good to me. So I'm in, But when it comes to residential, multifamily, mixed use, and commercial, I understand that part. So, the second development I did, we did like 14 homes in it. I sold it out completely. And then I was like, what's next? Like I always say,
ready
what's next?
now?
Yeah, because I'm a forward thinker.
Yes.
What's next, right? So then we ended up doing like, I don't know, maybe 30 homes in this community. And it was like, if you can do 30,
were they all new construction or something? All new construction.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, if you can do 30 new homes in another developer's development where you're buying the lots from him,
yes,
then you can do the exact same thing. So then I said, okay. So there's a property that I've been watching for 10 years because
now?
Mm-mm.
Oh, then. Okay.
That I was supposed to be the agent for, where they was going to give me all of the business because it was on a black side of town where they needed a black face. And again, like Mike Epps on the Bentley, you put your girl on up there, I'm going to smile. Okay.
Yes.
And so when I tell you this was the hardest transaction of my career to get, it was literally the hardest. I had to fight with banks trying to steal the deal. I had to fight with community leaders trying to steal the deal from me. I had to fight with so many people over this property that it sat dormant for 10 years. Nobody even wanted it. But then
when you decided you wanted it, everybody came out of the woods.
Thank you. So I'm
Why
like,
though? Why do you think? Do you think the time was changing? It got more value over that 10 years? What was it that made it?
What happened was Donald Trump created opportunity zones,
yes,
and everybody went crazy. Everybody wanted opportunity zones. And this property was in a prime location for our opportunity zone project.
What's the opportunity zone? I mean, I know people read about it, but what is it?
Yeah. So opportunity zone is areas around the United States that they consider rural areas that have not received investment capitals in decades. And so you get tax benefits for investing into these businesses that are in opportunity zones and or, developments. So it depends on the type of company it is. So what happens is if you have capital gains taxes, right, you can use that capital gains to put into an opportunity fund.
Okay.
The opportunity fund is a bank account. That fund allows you to go and invest that money into an opportunity zone, which is, it can be raw land, it can be multifamily, or it can be a business like a grocery store or a technology store. Like one of the big players in our area is the hospital. They did a lot of medical stuff in the opportunity zone. Well, imagine all of the capital gain taxes now not just going to the federal government, they're going back into the community.
So that's what it's for. It's to create basically more opportunities.
Yes, but a lot of people, it's like, oh, they're gentrifying. And the truth of the matter is, yes, some people did use it to gentrify, but you got some people like me who went in and created affordable housing, true affordable housing with no subsidized, meaning no government help. The government didn't give me $1. They just gave me this vehicle to say, yo, take this car and drive it over here. And I said, all right, cool, bet.
Put all the gas in and everything, service it up.
That's it. And so the cool thing about an opportunity fund is that you can invest into multiple projects around the world. And whenever we finish, like with our development, we close it out. All of the funds we have there, if we hold it for 10 years, which is why we build a multifamily over there, well, after 10 years, the taxes are gone.
So the money that I would have had to pay in taxes, I'm invested over here now, so I don't have to pay the taxes, but I have ownership and some income.
That's right. And you only pay taxes on your capital gains when you pull out the opportunity fund before the 10 years. But the cool thing about an opportunity fund, the Opportunity Zone Initiative, was that it decreases over a period of time. So after 5 years, it decreased, and after 7 years, it decreased, and after 10 years, they wipe it away.
Wow.
That was a beautiful feeling for us.
Is it still available?
So 2023, no.
It's over.
Yeah. So 2023, I believe was the final year for the 10-year period. So you would have had to get in, almost 10 years ago to be able to get.
So there are no more
benefits
opportunity
of it.
zones.
Well, they have opportunity zones. You don't get the benefits of them.
Got you.
Now, again, depending on, the president, if they reinstate the program, because it haven't been reinstated yet. If they reinstate the program, then yes.
Why wouldn't they reinstate the program? What do you think? Like what? Because it seems like it's all good.
Well, because there's some political parties that believe that this is tax evasion.
Okay.
For the rich.
Okay.
Which the truth of the matter is, the wealthy do have capital gains, not the poor.
Yes.
So I can understand the argument. But there are, leaders who do believe in communities, who do want to see true revitalization, who will put the money back the way that it's supposed to. But because majority are, these larger companies,
they're going to figure out a way to not pay them anyway, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, and that's why they have, all of these tax advisors on their team.
Yes.
I mean, that's their only job is to find the vehicles in that big old book of tax code that they have, So
before the opportunity zone, what other money was being pumped into these kind of desert-like communities? Like, is there anything that compares to the opportunity funds and zones?
Gentrification.
Gentrification? Something wrong with that?
So what happens is, you said what happened to these areas.
I mean, was there anything was the government, because it seemed like this was a government initiative, was there any other government initiative that could compare to the opportunity zones?
Tax credits.
Okay.
Yeah. So the tax credit initiative, you got to have somebody on your team. Like we're bringing in a tax credit expert on our team because that's a whole nother law within itself. Mm-hmm. But there's investors, real estate investors, who only purchase tax credits.
Gotcha.
That's it. And so those tax credits can be purchased through the government funding that is issued for affordable housing, subsidized, and all of those type of initiatives. So we have what's called the Louisiana Housing Tax Credit.
Okay.
Well, the Low Income Tax Credit, LITC. Well, what does LIT mean? Well, that's for investors who understand how to use those tax credits to defer further taxes that they currently have right now. So it's a matter of getting the right people on the team to understand that. So before opportunity zones, they had the tax credits. They have the 1031 exchange.
So that when they say LITEC. Okay, got you. Got you.
They had what else? But gentrification was the big one, right? Like you would get these big hedge fund companies come in and buy up all of the real estate. Literally just buy it in the masses. And you know this, Ramon. You just sitting there like, you already know this, right?
So I got a different take on gentrification though, but
and you haven't heard my take. I'm telling you, you asking me questions and I'm telling you what's taking place, right? And so whenever they come in and they buy up all of these large parcels of lands, it's only because the community has squeezed that area dry. They have removed all of the resources. There's no schools, there's no banks, there's no grocery stores, there's no health care. So people cannot continue to thrive in the area where you don't have, the main necessities of living. Especially when you're talking about an average income of less than $15,000. These people don't even have cars. So what they do, they take away the bus routes.
That really kill it.
So then what you have there?
Crime.
Okay. Right. So then everybody like, oh, the government need to do something. Then the government put their capes on. I am here. I have a solution. We have ABC Corporation coming in to buy all of this, and they're going to create affordable housing for everyone. And then the tax credits come out, and all the investors make a ton of money, and then they keep everybody in that community satisfied because guess what they did?
They saved us. They saved us. So you are really great at this. Community development, developer.
Okay.
No, you're great. And we're not even going to let you play that down. So why or when are we going to be that big company, the ABC, that buys the whole community and does a development to gentrify a neighborhood? And I want to hear your take on gentrification, but tell me, why has there not been a lot of smaller companies that came together to do just that?
Because people lack financial literacy, right? I believe you can do more with more. Yes. And so when I say lack financial literacy, it's literally people thinking you're going to do something with their money, or you're going to steal from them, or it's high risk, or whatever the case may be. I won't even take $50 from nobody. Like, you know what I'm saying? I had somebody offer me $1 million a few months ago here in Atlanta, saying, hey, I want to give you $1 million. I want you to go invest it for me. Right. And I think we have to be very careful of how we receive money from people. Yes. Okay. Not all money is good money. But I would also say that it's a lack of knowledge. People truly don't understand how powerful we can become together with the right resources and the right game plan. Don't give me $1 million because you know I'm in real estate. Give me $1 million because I have this project and this project makes sense. And then you want to invest into this project.
But you've made it look so easy. So I saw maybe 6 months ago, we had an event here in Atlanta. You had a group up and you like bought an apartment complex in like 15 minutes. It's like, I got 60 units. Let's go. Right?
Yeah.
How have you been able to, because you're educating us. I'm learning a lot from you. Right? I watch, I learn, we talk. What has made the difference in how you're making it not look easy, but you're making it appear easier to bring folks together and to make it work?
Tackling their mindset. Being in the right rooms, and people really seeing, like, there's a lot of people that talk about real estate investing, but they never show their portfolios. And so for me, I'm an open book. Number one, you can Google me and find out what you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm really open. The second thing is, if I'm bringing an opportunity to people, it's because I understand that mentally they understand the scope of this investment, and I don't have to beat them for it. The other thing is, I can buy whatever I offer. So if they don't want it,
you buy it anyway.
I'm going to buy it anyway. Right. And I let them know that, like, I don't need your money, but if you want to come in on this deal, then come on. That's like, everybody that participated in that 2-block deal that I bought, you would have been a fool not to. I should have listened to David and just kept it for us.
No, you know what, though? You know why you continue to be blessed, though? You continue to bless folks. Yeah. And you allow people to come in on something that you could have kept to yourself.
Right.
But you keep getting more opportunities. That's right. Why, though, because you continue to allow us to grow with you. You continue to allow folks that haven't started to start without such a big learning curve. Yeah. And that's a true blessing. Yeah,
all those investors have received dividends. Like, that's the beautiful thing, right? So, like, a lot of the times when you're doing these multifamily developments, it takes 2-3 years to stabilize these investments.
I know. I was crying this morning. But again, that's a part of learning, though. I mean, that's a part of, and then being humble enough to say, you know what, man, Terrica got a different route. I'm gonna go over there and learn from her, because a lot of people are afraid to say, you know what, I'm learning from Terrica.
Yeah.
I sit back and tell people all the time, hey, look, I show you, somebody walk up to you in Atlanta, like, take a picture with you. They like, Ramon told me to take a picture with you.
But that's what I've always loved about you, Ramon. You've never, and I learned from you as well. Like, let's just be frank, right? But you've never been one who was a crab in a barrel. You've always been one that supported. You've always been one to bring people on whatever platform that you have and say, hey, look, I want you guys to share the information and knowledge you have. It's some people who really just think that there's a limited amount of people and they got to have them all. And I don't think like that.
Me either.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even think like that. And so I think that's why I've been able to establish such a great relationship with you and other investors. Is because of the simple fact I work with like-minded investors, or I try my best to, if it makes sense. If it don't make sense, I won't do it. But at the end of the day, I try my best to duplicate myself into others. And I also take what others bring and, add that value as well. Yeah. So raising money is not hard at all for me. The mere fact, like I said, somebody just offered me $1 million a few months ago. Like, money is really
so
easy.
what do you? So again, you have a very good track record.
Mm-hmm.
You do what you say you're gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
You do this business. A lot of people that, and I'm not knocking anybody, but they're not doers.
Mm-hmm.
They can teach.
Mm-hmm.
You do, and we learn because you do, right? And that separates you. That takes you to.
But I was never a teacher. I was a doer.
You're a doer.
Remember? I just kept my head down.
You're a doer.
So I recently lifted it up, and
I'm glad though. I see you out, see you with dresses on and everything.
You know what I'm saying? I've been working really hard to be in a dress. I even got makeup on today for you. I did that for you.
Oh, I didn't know. You are always so beautiful anyway.
Okay. No, I put something extra on my eyes today.
All right. So listen, I got to go back to the 60 units and what's next. And I know you're always, I mean, I saw you in this video and you had like a stack of your tax bills. I was going to call your son, like, can you slide one of mine in there for me, right? Right, just one. I just need one paid, right? But you continue to buy. Mm-hmm. Are you continuing to build partnerships, or are you focusing on your company? What does that look like?
Yeah, no. So I love partnerships. I love partnerships. So what happens after the 60 units? The 60 units was actually a small deal. The one that I'm working on right now is probably going to bring in almost $600,000 a month.
Ooh,
yeah,
I love that. 7.2 a year. Ooh, is that net or gross?
Gross.
Okay.
So net will be walking away with a few million a year.
That's beautiful.
But the and I can't talk too much on this because we're still in the middle of it.
Gotcha.
But it is one of the largest portfolios that have become available. And
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Can I walk it with you?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, just let me know. Absolutely. I mean, I'll pull up with the food and the coffee.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't mind being Mr. Bentley. I don't mind being the new Jeff. Have you seen the new Bel Air?
No, I haven't.
I don't mind being the new Jeffrey.
Yeah.
So you're continuing to buy more. Buy more. Are you buying income? Are you buying like only multifamily, or are you buying large plots of land to develop? What's kind of like, what should we be looking for?
Income.
By income.
Yeah. So long as you stay focused on income, you won't just put yourself in like this small net. Like I said, like I'm investing into a hotel business with some friends, 5-generation family that's been doing this. It's going to bring a few $100,000 a year on that. I enjoyed the game of finding, like, I want to know what it's like to make $1 million passive a month. And so I'm really on that kick. Like, they
said you were already doing that. Are you holding back on us?
No, I'm not doing that. I make $250,000 on my passive.
Oh, say that again. That is so beautiful though.
Yeah.
That is.
I'm not there yet. I would love to be there. I heard Floyd about to do $300 million a month. You know what I'm saying?
I just want to see what that portfolio looks like to do $300 million.
I don't think it's a portfolio. I think it's something in tech.
Oh.
And gambling.
They said it was something with real estate. So maybe a combination of stuff.
So when Floyd told me about it on my event, it was an app of some sort that ties into real estate and other components. I just don't know what these components are.
You know what's crazy though? We're like, man, I want to see somebody do $300 million a month. And there's a lot of people that make $100 million a month. I mean, not a lot of people, but there's a lot of people that make
30.
But can you imagine?
Now, Saudi Arabia people, their income is not reported, just for the record.
It's not. I'm gonna say this. The other day I was watching and two of them were bidding. They were young. Mm-hmm. And one of them, they didn't know they were bidding against each other. So it's like me and you bidding on the property, but we're on this site and we're bidding. Mm-hmm. And then I win it and I call you. I'm excited. Man, Terrica, look what and you like, I was the one you were bidding against. He paid $450 million for a painting. Mm. For a painting. So that's only one of his.
It tells you how deep they go.
That's deep. Because in order to spend $450, you're not spending your last. And they were smiling. Mm-hmm. So it's no.
I was sitting at a table in Dubai and they said, some of our Russian friends, they're spending 300 million dirhams in cash on these deals. So I'm like, 300 million dirhams.
What is a dirham compared to a dollar?
3.63, 3.5. Like, so you mean to tell me they just dropping $40-50 million without a bank? And they have to, because it's too much. They have too much money.
Got you. Well, I mean, that's about where you are.
Praise God, I receive all of that. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm glad we're friends though, because I
manifest that over me. I manifest that over you too. Okay, I manifest that over you too.
So bigger developments. Are you still going to be doing some of the smaller multifamily?
Yeah, so, I think Magic said it best. The same amount of time it take to make $1 is the same amount of time it take to make $1 million. So for me, I'm not interested in anything small unless God said, I need you to do this. And it got to be very clear. I am not interested, and it's going to sound horrible, but I'm not interested in making, $5,000-$10,000 a month on a deal.
I feel you. But you do have students and people that you're teaching.
Yeah, they can have them.
They can have them?
Yeah.
So what do you do with them? Now, we're going to talk about this all. Oh, I don't mind being a student. So, again, larger developments. Is it scary? Are you doing it smart and scary now? Like you still doing it?
Yeah. So I would say this. I learned a long time ago that I would rather, like do everything I possibly can to change the trajectory of my life than not do anything at all. And so anytime I do anything, I'm like, do it scare me? And I'd be like, no, it don't. And then you'd be like, okay, it's not big enough. Then I do something bigger, like what I'm working on right now. And I'm like, do this scare me? And I'm like, yeah. But are you still going to do it? Yeah. How you going to? I don't know, but I'm still going to do it. So, developments, not so much. I mean, horizontal, vertical, none of that really changed. The part that gets to be a little intimidating, if I'm just being honest, is going into new territories, not knowing anyone, being a new kid on the block, and not knowing your blind spots. Those are the parts that are intimidating for me. It don't stop me. It's just I'm aware of it.
But you got a great team though, and it's growing.
I do have a great team. But there's still weaknesses even with a great team. And for me, my blind spots are very, 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 very important to me because I don't like blind spots. And so no development to me is scary. There are some opportunities that I invest into that makes me say, I swallow a bit harder.
Gotcha.
A bit harder. Like Dubai, it makes me swallow a bit harder.
Well, you know what though? You said something. It's only the dollar amount that's different.
Yeah, it's not so much
it's
the dollar
political
amount
stuff.
for me. Yeah, it's that. Like,
cultural. Yes. Cultural and political. Gotcha.
That's it. And those are blind spots that I don't know. So I'm never afraid to invest $1.
Gotcha.
Because I understand how money works. My mind don't even think about that. The blind spots are who are the players that make the decision that can punch me in the face while looking me in the face. Those are the things that make my stomach.
And see, a lot of the time, I'm sure, like here, we can call somebody and say, such and such, that deal. But when you jumped across the water and I saw you looking at that model, I'm like, she gone. She at a whole nother level. But that political and cultural stuff plays a huge part in that.
Oh, even now. Yes, absolutely. Even now.
What do you think culturally? What did you experience? Was it a woman thing? Is it a racial culture or is it a woman-man type culture barrier?
It's not so much. It's a money culture out there, meaning that, like I said, when you got Russians and Saudi Arabia people that's just going to give you $40-50 million in cash, that's a different look than, an American coming in, that's going to have different, forms of financing and funding, than what they're accustomed to. But what I love about Dubai is I don't feel like there's no racism there because they all love money. Like they all love money there. Like, you know what I'm saying? What I did notice though was that they don't like poor people. Like at all. Like, you know, they don't really rock with you if you're poor.
Oh, so it's a classism. What do you call it? The differences in the class and the money.
That's it. And so based off of who you know is how you get in rooms. You don't know nobody, you ain't rocking with nobody, you ain't getting in the room. It's the same here, but it's a little bit different because Dubai is all about money.
Oh.
It's all about money. Like, I don't really feel relationships there. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I got the money, I don't have it.
That's it.
And we got to go get it.
That's it. And so, like, for me, like, the reason why I'm having a hard barrier in Dubai is because I am a strong, and I love being strong. I would never apologize for being strong. And when I say strong, that don't mean I can pick up the heaviest thing in the world. It means I can handle a lot more of the rejections and the talking down, and like I can handle a lot more of that. Like, my feelings don't get hurt.
Gotcha.
Like, I'm not about to cry because you gotta say something to make you feel like you're this inferior man. Like, I don't care about that.
But did you experience a lot of that though, from woman to man? Are there a lot of women doing business over there? So you already kind of
men are definitely the leaders there.
Okay.
I mean, women just got their rights a few years ago.
And that's what I'm asking. So there's a difference. So you are like, whoa.
I'm black.
Yes.
That's whoa. I don't know how to you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not like soft, gently spoken, right? Okay. I'm a real country gal. So that right there within itself. And then the other thing is this: I have knowledge. So you can't easily take over me. So what does that mean? I'm not here to be dominant with you. I'm here to be a business partner with you. But what happens is if you don't know what you don't know, you can easily get a haircut. But because I can challenge the numbers that they give me, I can challenge the things that they're telling me, I can challenge a lot of the stuff that most people wouldn't be able to.
They just don't know.
It's like, yo, where she come from? Like, they asked me that, where you come from?
So is it to do business there or bring capital here and do business here? Is your goal to go over there and build more?
I want to be international. So I want to have a private island that I own.
When are we getting that? Come on, let's put a date on it.
So actually, it was supposed to be last year. Okay. In fact, last night I was looking at islands for sale. The problem with islands is blind spots. And so some of these countries, you can sneeze and they take your property.
So you gotta be careful with that.
Yes. And so it's a matter of me becoming more knowledgeable in the ownership of an island. But I believe I can develop an island.
We're going to be right there with you.
Yes. And I believe it's going to be an island where it's exclusive for masterminds and things like that.
So listen, when you flying in, can you have like this large water thing cut out with a T? And so when, I can flex a little bit. I can be like, that's Tookes when you're not around. Hey, we got to get there some kind of way.
Saying? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we do whatever we want.
Yeah.
When it's your island.
Here's the thing, though, that I see you're doing, and you're, I won't say giving hope. You're inspiring people. Because even talking about owning the island, I remember when I was a kid, I used to get the Rod Report, that magazine that had, you can buy, and we was like, you can really buy an island? This is crazy, because the only island we knew about was Fantasy Island, like on TV. And so it is now, we can talk about, without flinching, building a hotel, owning the island, because it's so doable, and we're right here together. That's right. You make it seem more possible because you are down to earth. You are who you are. You're real. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
So where we going next? What's next?
So what's next? I don't know.
What you got coming up next? Like,
retirement.
Retirement?
At 40. I got 3 years left. I got a good 3 years.
At 40?
Yeah.
When you retire, what does that mean?
I'm still going to buy companies and income, but I'm going to, be retired.
What is that? I want to hear. I want to see what that looks like. You sit. So you're not going to be as active anymore?
Nah, me and my husband are going to live in Amsterdam for 6 months out the year. We're going to travel the world, drink a lot of wine, eat a lot of cheese, meet a lot of different foreign people, and experience cultures we've never could have imagined.
So, I'm going to pop up with like deals like, hey, listen, y'all where? Okay, we're going to be right.
Absolutely.
We're going to just all pull up.
I'm not going to start buying income. I'm just not going to be as active as I am. Like, I want to pass the baton to my children. And I want them to be able to run everything.
Do they want it?
My daughter, let me say this.
Right now, do they want it?
My kids want money.
Okay.
And it seems like that's what this generation care about. Yeah. It ain't so much of the legacy of the real estate portfolio that I built. It's money. So because they see money, they want in. Want it. If they didn't see no money, they'd be like, yo, I'm not interested in that.
But so, we both got kids that are the same age group. Do you think they will want to work like you're working, or will your systems make it easier for them?
Yeah. So they have the option to, run how I run.
Yes.
The reason why I run how I run is because I like to make sure that things are what they're supposed to be, right? But by the time we pass the baton on to the children, they'll have, hopefully a trustworthy PM that can oversee everything and make sure everything flows the way that it's supposed to.
I like that because, I think one of the biggest fears of the hardworking generation is the next generation got it kind of easy, and they may not want it, so they don't pay as much attention as you, because you're not missing one penny, right? Do they miss that one penny, and then that one penny turns into 10 million and 20 million, and you know what I mean? So putting the right systems in place. So I ask myself the same question: do my kids want this? Right? I don't know. I guess we'll figure it out.
But if they don't, you just, at the end of the day, their legacy have to be what they want their legacy to be, not what mine is. Mine's for me was to build, the largest family trust my family has ever seen. And I've been doing that for 18 years. For my children, they may have a different plan than what I have. The beautiful thing is we can sell off all of this. They can go and invest however they want, do whatever they want, and then from there make their own life choices.
But you did your job.
I did my job. I passed on the knowledge, which is way more valuable than the money that they would receive from me. Yeah. So if they was to ever hit rock bottom by the investments that they made, at least they have the knowledge to be able to start over. They shouldn't hit rock bottom, but if they did, they have the knowledge.
They can't hit rock bottom the way it's set up.
Yeah.
I can look at them and tell you there ain't no rock bottom.
Yeah, that turn ain't gonna let it happen either.
Tell them to call Uncle Ramon. So I got a question, and I got to ask, what is delayed gratification mean to you?
That is such a great question. And I'm like so happy that you asked that on your podcast, because I am big on delayed gratification, but to me, when I hear it and when you ask me, like, what does that mean to you? It means patience to me, and instant gratification, is great for those who are like microwaves and want everything now. But I find the true rewards are in the delayed gratification, which is the transfer of wealth is from the impatient to the patient.
Oh, you said a lot then.
So
I like that one. Yeah.
So I'm big on, creating short-term goals in the now, right? To be able to take care of my long-term goals in the end.
Wow.
So patience is big with
patience is big.
Yes.
Listen, when they're watching this and listening to this, how can they get in touch with you?
All my social medias, Terrica Lynn Smith.
That's so easy.
Yeah, that's easy. Terrica Lynn Smith.
I forgot one thing, and I'm not going to go. You have a board game.
Yes, I do.
We have it.
Yes.
We have, and I bought it for a couple people as gifts. What made you come up with a board game?
God had a dream of me standing at the top of a mountain, and I was so successful at the top of this mountain. Like I was so successful, but then I looked down and I left everybody at the bottom because I was so focused on getting to the top. And I was like, okay, how can I help as many people if I'm only one person? I can't help that many people. But what if I can show them kind of like the ropes of what I did to get started and make it interesting where the families can join in? And I woke up from the dream. I took out my notebook. I drew it. And then I called my business partner. I said, hey, I want to create a board game. He said, you're crazy. I said, I know, but let's do it. And we put up $20,000 and created the board game.
Can we go buy it now?
Yeah, absolutely. So, you can go to, I don't know the website. I forgot. Developersboardgame.com maybe.
Okay.
I think it's something like that.
So, but if we follow you,
yes,
it's
in my store.
It's in the store.
Yes,
gotcha.
Absolutely.
Gotcha.
Yes, absolutely. You can tell I'm not a salesperson. Not like that. Like it's online.
It's somewhere out there.
It's somewhere.
Just follow you.
Yeah, it's probably yeah.
I mean that in itself, yeah, that's a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and it's a great game.
Yeah.
So I
not many people can beat it. I did it as a course though, so really it's a curriculum in a box. So it don't end easy. Most people give up. Yeah, most people will quit and never end it. But I can end it in 30 minutes.
Can you?
Mm-hmm.
Now we got to sit down and play the game. We're gonna have to have.
I'm not gonna teach you though how to end it.
No, but if I see you do it in 30 minutes, that means I'm gonna learn.
But then I mean I'm giving you away. I'm giving it away.
We're gonna have to have a developers night.
Yes, absolutely.
And play the game.
That's right.
With some good fun food, real food, flavorful food.
And make sure you got a few hours because I'm not gonna take the shortcut.
Oh, do the kids know the shortcut?
No.
They don't?
My oldest daughter, she beat me twice, but she's
a genius.
She a different type of human.
Listen, Terrica, thank you for coming on. It's so much
Thank you for having me.
that I mean, you're so inspirational. Like I just gotta say it. I gotta give you your flowers today.
Thank you.
I'm gonna give you some tomorrow. I'm gonna give you some another day. Right. But you're a true blessing.
Thank you.
And this industry needs you. The world needs you. So again, thank you for being on.
Thanks for having me. You're so kind, Ramon.
Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of the Delayed Gratification Podcast. Listen, this has been a lot of gems and a true blessing. As I said, I love y'all. See y'all on the next episode.